As you guys can see, we have both of our cameras here. You can see the head honcho over here, our special guest, Karel. Karel's our lead developer. You know him as Aranis on our Discord. So if you see him around, that's usually, that's him. Well, always him, not usually. Karel, why don't you say hello and introduce yourself? Just make sure the sound's good and camera's synced up and everything.
All right, hi everyone. This is my first time actually appearing on this stream in a video in real person, so I'm pretty excited about this. Yeah, let's see how this works out. If you have any questions, now's really the chance to ask.
Okay, so really quickly, I got some ground rules for today's stream because it's going to get crazy before it gets, simple. We're going to have a lot of people here and a lot of questions with a lot of things going on. So going forward, if you have a question, please type question, then your question following it. So something along the lines of, I'm sending a message, question, blah, blah, blah. Thank you, Seisu, for the format. Your question will not be recognized unless it's typed in this format. That way we can filter through the intense amount of content we plan to have coming through the stream. Thank you so much. By the way, we are at 59 viewers already. Just moments after we went live, so it's time to do a giveaway, and then we're going to jump into things. I'm going to get that started, and we'll start doing questions. Karel only has a limited amount of time with us. He's going to be with us the first hour, so we're going to try, because he's not really feeling well. He's got a cold, but he ended up joining us anyway, which is pretty awesome, I'd have to say. And so we're going to accommodate to him the best we can, answer as many questions in that time, showcase as much material while he's here, okay? Hey, we got Aiko here, drawing girl.
Hi, Aiko.
Okay.
She's our oldest artist, except for Wim, of course, who started the project. And she's been with us basically from the start. So she's responsible for like a really noticeable portion of the 3D models you're actually using in your maps.
So, question. First one is from Robert. What is the meaning of life, the universe, and everything? You know what? Going forward, let's keep questions to Dungeon Alchemist related content, please. And if you want to take a shot at that, go for it. Ferret Munger said 42. I agree. It's probably 42. Next question. How goes it? It's from Dirty Rollers RPG. He streams a lot here and shares a lot of maps. But his question is, how goes it? And welcome to the stream, Karel. Not much of a question, just more like, hello.
Thank you.
Remember, it's exclamation giveaway to enter the giveaway. You must be following the stream to enter. If you're not already following, hit that follow button. And if you have any questions for Karel, now is the time. Oh, that's a good one. Just a Little Mad asks, will we be getting color sliders for things such as the trees? So we can say, make pink leaves to give the illusion of cherry blossoms.
Actually, we haven't really thought of that, but I think it's a very doable thing to do. We are adding recolorable water. Well, not really recolorable, but also like different color swatches that you can select from. So you can change, like Wim showcased earlier, you can change the water in the hot tub to lava, or water in the bath to lava, and we're also doing this to the crystals and other stuff. So I think it actually makes sense to expand this to trees as well, but probably not this update.
Okay.
You'll be hearing this a lot from me, like the probably not this update answer.
So while he was talking, I was showing some new water as well. I showed the new cave water, which has a lighter, more kind of greenish hue. And then we also have acid. So these are the two new liquid types being added. I'm not aware of any other ones at this time.
That's it.
Okay. These two are the new liquid types being added in the next update. So you saw this first. Question from Amanda. Do you think you might add animals?
Animals are kind of the realm of the VTT, right? They're tokens. You tend to move them around, you tend to interact with them, and that's not really the objective of Dungeon Alchemist right now. We're more like doing the static part of the map, so that's not an immediate not an immediate goal. No.
The questions are coming in pretty quick. I'm going to keep rattling them out as soon as you finish.
Go ahead.
Masked Echo says, would it be possible to make a 2-axis slider for item resizing? So that would mean you could stretch it long ways or tall instead of just a scaled slide, you know.
Maybe. It's gonna look really weird though.
I would imagine the textures don't match if you do that.
Yeah, the texture is gonna stretch in a very weird way. I can't imagine it being very aesthetically pleasing because I think you're talking about like a table and moving it, making it longer, but without stretching the textures, right? Without having like legs that are stretched out in one direction, because that's also gonna look really weird. So I'm not sure if that's like really gonna work as you think it would.
Yeah, a lot of our assets aren't necessarily fully 3D sculpted assets. There is texture mapping on them to give them that look and feel, so when you scale them, it doesn't always look as good.
Yeah.
Okay, let's continue here from Sack. Sack is one of our very talented cartographers. He has a Patreon, is constantly sharing maps and streams. What's your favorite part of working on DA? That's a very good question.
Well, it's definitely the community. I've worked on other games before, and the one thing can be a bit depressing about making games is that if you work on it for a couple of years on your own or with like some other people, and then you release it, and then you hope that it catches on, and you find a community, and you find people excited about the game. So it can be a bit lonely while you're developing. On the contrary, Dungeon Alchemist had a fan base right from the start because of Kickstarter. So we were developing right along the fans and the people, and so we knew who we were developing for. And we had feedback all along the way, all the time, so it felt much less lonely to work on this project from the start because you had all these people cheering you on, and that's definitely like the most fun part about this project for us. And I think I speak for the entire team.
Honestly, I can second that. Our community is amazing. I've been in a lot of communities as a streamer and a gamer and a content creator, and ours is by far the most positive and supportive and helpful that I've ever been a part of. I've seen a lot of communities claim they're the best community in the world, but I think ours could take that trophy easily. We're incredibly helpful and supportive with each other. The way we share our maps and ideas and help each other out, it's great. Anyway, moving on. Next question. What is the best way to see all of the assets for selection? So to see them all, the best way is just to scroll through them, you know? But the thing is we also added a new command, right? Should I tell them about that?
Sure.
So it's Ctrl Shift S, right? Control plus Shift plus S, if I'm right. Is that it? No, it's something else, right?
I think it's B.
B? Okay.
Yeah. Control Shift B.
So if you type Ctrl Shift B in the new update, it isn't available now. It will give you a CSV list, which is like a spreadsheet list of all the assets in Dungeon Alchemist, so you can look at them one at a time in a list. That's a really awesome tool. So, because there's now, over 3,000 assets, so it's getting up there. It's very hard to continually know of all the assets and browse through them. So sorry I answered that one for you, but wanted to make sure. Let's see here. Question, where is Karel from?
Antwerp, Belgium. Next.
Search is good, but like a contact sheet. Yeah, I think we have a contact sheet. We just discussed that pretty much. Okay, will there be effects or particles that look like fish or creepy crawlies or stuff? That's actually a good idea and a good question.
Yeah, I think we could do that. Being able to add some like subtle particle effects to the water that makes it appear like there's living things below. That's something.
Some
but actually, to be honest,
tentacles.
that's the kind of stuff our artists should answer, because I can't really speak for them as to how easy it would be to make this kind of stuff beautiful, because that's not
Kenny's here.
Yeah.
Kenny, are you here right now?
Yeah, he's the guy who would probably actually build this and add it.
Kenny pops in sometimes. He doesn't make it every stream. So if he's here, we'll find out soon. But anyway, let's see here. Okay, I'm kind of falling behind. Question, will it be possible to take a screenshot F in the same resolution as the export function? I want to export a PNG with a different angle than the default angle in the export function. Sorry for my English.
So you're asking if it's possible to make a screenshot in the exact like layout of the export? I'm not. I'm a bit I'm not
Hey,
sure what this is.
Evalicia, you may need to rephrase your question. I'm sorry. Please ask again, okay? And we'll come back to this one. We'll go to the next one here. Neologiker says, I find the hue sliders produce muddy colors. I've always wondered why the base models can't be more neutral grayscale when applying the color slider so that the slider gives you more accurate shade. Can you do something like this? So is this possible?
I guess it would be possible. If
They
we
do
take
seem
this
very, very high in the, like...
Yeah. The problem is, like, if we get a little bit technical here, then there's a whole bunch of different, what we call color maps that are applied to an object to generate the final output color. So we have the base color, like, for example, if you have let's say the Victorian chair, like it's red by default, all right? That's the base color. But there's also a couple of other maps that are applied to it. For example, a detail map that has some more details added on top of it that are mixed in. You have a normal map that actually kind of produces a fake 3D effect, even though there's not a lot of 3D. So if you look at like the Victorian chairs, there's like these notches that appear to be going in where like the buttons are. I'm not sure if can you pull it up the object, Blake?
It's
That
a
people
chair?
can actually look at it while I'm talking about it. Yeah, it's just like one of the oldest objects. Just Google chair. Yeah, it's like the red mansion chair.
Like this one? Or these ones?
Yeah, that one. Yeah, the sofa. Yeah,
The sofa. Got it.
the sofa. Yeah. No,
What
that's a throne. Yeah, that one. Yeah.
What about it?
Yeah. So if you rotate around, you see like the notches and stuff. They appear really 3D, right? But a lot of it is smoke and mirrors. It's applied colors that kind of fake the 3D aspect, and that's a little bit challenging because all these different maps are applied, and if we change the color, we only change the color map. We don't change everything else, so it's not always perfectly in sync. And if you had to change all the different maps to make it work, then yeah, I mean, it's more difficult. It's kind of we didn't take this into account from the start. Let's put it like that. So we've kind of tacked it on top of all the models we already had, and of course we could change.
Can you
all
slow
the
chat,
models to
Seisu?
grayscale. We could change all the models to grayscale, but that would be like a momentous amount of work because, like you said, we already have 3,000 objects. So, yeah.
Okay, question from
Sorry,
Robert.
I'm answering long. I'll try to make it shorter.
With some of these features, first-person POV, do you worry that feature creep may end up being overwhelming the RPG 2D-ish original mission? Do you think we're straying from the path by offering these additional features?
No, I think our goal has always and still is to make a tool that makes it easier to immerse your players into your map, into your world. And first-person view is a very useful tool for that. People use it to make trailers, like an immersive teaser for whatever their players are entering, like entering a room. It's a good way to make screenshots of different parts of the room that you can put up there, give people a better view of like what they're in. So I think it's even just as a tool to make your players more immersive into your 2D map. It's very powerful, and that was our main objective with the first-person view.
That's what I say a lot lately when people ask what Dungeon Alchemist is. I say it's a map-making and immersion tool. Because you can create handouts and cutscenes, chase scenes, you know, those cool little fireplace scenes where people are like a long rest or something. Those are great. I love them.
I love it. I like one of my favorite maps on the Steam Workshop is the one where.
Can I cut you off for 1 second? Someone just won the giveaway, and I have to say something. So, Lucas Bem 10, congratulations on winning, but you need to claim the key. Type !claim in chat. Please type it, and if you're not here and moved on, then it'll be given to someone else. Uh-oh, who was the original winner? They didn't do it? Oh my gosh, that's a bummer. So there was already another winner and I missed it. Shoot, I am so sorry. Okay, well, it's okay. They have a timer, and if they don't claim it in time, they don't get it. So, because sometimes people leave. So, okay, it looks like Lucas got it. Lucas claimed it. Perfect. Let me hurry and take care of that really quickly while you continue answering that question. And I apologize for cutting you off. It was related to the feature creep. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I was saying that one of the favorite maps on the Steam Workshop is the one, I'm not sure who made it, where someone made like just a close-up version of like a loading screen where you could upload like your world map on a table with some
So like a
candles and
landing
stuff.
page, right?
A landing page, yeah, and I loved it because that's like a very creative way to use Dungeon Alchemist that we never envisioned, but it really helps like pulling your people into like your players into your world. You could put up this landing page while you're prepping your session. People are joining, whatever. I think that's the kind of stuff I really love people doing with Dungeon Alchemist, using it for other immersion aspects of the adventure.
1 second here. Lucas, I am whispering you your code. Can you just double check your whispers? And just verify you got the key here in chat. So everyone knows the giveaway is legitimate. I'm going to scroll back up to the questions. We're getting a little bit behind, and I apologize, everyone. There's a lot going on, and we have 85 viewers, so we're actually 15 viewers away from another giveaway. So if we've missed any questions, I apologize. Please feel free to drop them again here in a minute. We're going to try and catch up, though, for the next minute, okay? Let's see here. Any hope to upload a GIF in the frames or paints or the abstracts?
An animated, I mean, I assume it's about an animated GIF.
Yeah.
That's not really gonna happen anytime soon because basically we have to convert the GIF to a video recording and then have like a video player embedded into Dungeon Alchemist map, which is gonna be a hell performance-wise. I mean, playing videos. Imagine you're adding like an animated GIF to 20 paintings. You're gonna play 20 videos at the same time. Your computer is gonna burn.
So
it's not gonna work.
Like, one thing I would love this for, and I understand that it's technically challenging, is that I would love to have paintings with moving eyes. So the eyes like look from side to side once in a while. I mean, even if we made an object like that, that would be great, you know, as a something like, I just think that would add a lot of, you know, immersion to some maps. Anyway,
well, could, if I'm brainstorming, what might be an option is an object that is pre-configured to swap out different images after a certain time.
So it's like a slideshow.
Yeah, like a slideshow. That could be fun.
That's smart. That's a good solution.
Yeah.
Will animated objects be filterable or grouped for more easy selection? I could see that being something we need as objects that are animated become more prevalent.
I think we're gonna need some kind of filter system more general than that. Like we're getting to the point that there's so many objects that we need some to be able to put in some filters there and say like, I want this kind of object, and have a couple of different options to filter on. We're gonna have to get to this at some point.
Gotcha. Yeah, we definitely, as we're adding more objects, we need better search options and scrolling options. Remy asks, what is the most technically difficult or challenging request the community has asked for?
It's the circular walls. The main problem, there's a couple of problems. There's reasons why we haven't supported them fully with the AI yet. Because the simple reason is that for now, when we started the project, our scope wasn't as big as it is right now because we didn't know we're gonna have so many funds. So we made some decisions there to make it way easier to build the AI system. And one of them was basically that it had to be like on a grid, right? Everything is easier when it's on a grid, and if you start doing like rounded walls, they go off the grid, and you have to throw everything out of the window you built before. That takes the grid into account. But it's not only that. I mean, imagine floors. Right now, I know people do rounded rooms, but you always have the problem that the floor like sticks out on the other side, right? Because it's a square floor. So people like they get creative and they hide it somehow, but it's still a bit of a mess. So like if we want to do it like fully, like you draw around the room, then we have to cut the floor in pieces somehow, make it fit like that. We have to make have the AI work with it. But there's also good news because like it's the most requested feature from the start, and we are listening to it. So the last couple of updates, we are doing changes. Like, for example, the big AI update we did last time, it did take into account the possibility to add circular rooms in the future.
That's the first
And
time
as
I've
you,
heard this, so that's
yeah,
good to know.
and also as you notice, the organic rooms that you're going to showcase later, they also don't use only like vertical and horizontal walls. They spawn objects diagonally as well. So there's already support for diagonal walls right now. It's just that the diagonal walls aren't in yet because the floors are still an issue. So I'm kind of saying that we're slowly working towards it behind the scenes. Like we're adding different features that are already taking the diagonal walls and round walls into account. And as we work towards it, we're going to replace more and more of the older systems with systems that expand and that work better with circular or diagonal walls until we're at the point where we're like, all right, all the systems we have support it, so now we just have to add it. And that's the way we've been working. Yeah, go ahead.
With the circular walls in question and thought in mind, just a little mad ass, do you think we will get standalone circular walls in all the different existing textures, like the way we got normal walls, the freestanding? So will we get every texture mapped to the circular walls we have now, the 1x1, 2x2, 3x3, as a freestanding?
That is the objective, yes.
Okay.
We do want to do this automatically, generate them automatically, because otherwise it's going to be a little bit of a shitty job for 3D artists.
That's a lot of work. There's a lot of walls.
That's a lot of work.
We could automate it somehow, definitely.
Yeah. But again, that's a really good example again of how I like to work. I like to tackle a specific sub-problem of a bigger problem, add it to an update. For example, the freestanding walls is one step towards auto-generating the circular walls, because the freestanding walls are also auto-generated from the normal walls. So that's like a little sub-problem I solved, and now I'm one step closer to supporting all walls as circular walls. And that's how I tend to work. I split up a really big problem, a long-term big problem, into smaller challenges that are tackleable, and then at them already, get it out there and kind of build towards the bigger goal over the long term.
I mean, that's always smart to break a problem into much smaller, more tackleable problems. That's good. Let's see here. I just want to make sure I wasn't... So many questions. Okay, let's see. Have you already had a talk for what the next goal will be? I actually have no idea what the next one will be. You guys usually let me know, like, as we're rolling into the update. So, if you know this far ahead, that'd be interesting. I feel like it's something we kind of pick on the fly.
Yeah, we actually do know what we're gonna do next, but I'm not gonna announce it yet.
Ooh.
I'm not gonna be the one to do that before we talked it thoroughly through with Wim and the rest of the team. So
fair. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Can screenshots be a higher resolution similar to exports? So I imagine if you have a huge map and you export it, the resolution's much higher, or if at 300 DPI, it's much higher than just the screenshot is, which just matches your screen resolution, correct?
But yeah. But why would you want that? I'm not sure.
I'm assuming they want isometric angles with higher quality. That would be the main reason.
Yeah. I think the real way to fix this is to add other export options, right?
Isometric angles.
Support what they want through export and not through screenshots. Screenshots are kind of used for immersion, right? You take a screenshot of an angle, showcase it to your players in your VTT or something. It doesn't have to be like a mega high res.
Okay, moving on here. Question, I like making my maps whole, but they are big to print, and separating the items feels bad. Is there a way to choose selecting areas or upload a print? Like if you have 100 by 100 but only want 20 by 20, can you implement a drag and print save, which creates a new small map? So essentially they'd like a rasterizing option, so you could split it up into multiple small prints, which, I mean, we do recommend people use rasterizing tools all the time if they have a bigger map. I don't know if that'd be something we could implement, but it would be pretty cool if we could break it up into equal 8.5 by 11s or whatever.
I think that's related to the... Sorry. I think that's related to the copy and paste functionality, right? Like copy and paste the room, drag a room around. There's a couple of like requests that are related to this, right?
I think this is more like they want to take a big map and parcel it out into smaller sections so they can, it's easier to print for them. So if they have 100 by 100, currently the current workaround is they export it, go to online and rasterize it, and it splits it up into, say, 12 equal printable papers.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit different than copying a room from one map to the other. However, they could be slightly related. So that's, I think, what they're asking is, could we have the ability to split a large map up into much smaller prints within the exporter?
Yeah, I think that's something that's long overdue. We should probably add like an option to the export for if you go to print export, an option to say like you have a default map paper size, but you can reduce the paper size, and it will generate like different images, like 4 images that fit the actual page. That's probably something that's long overdue. I agree.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, moving on. Vlad Hart, No Heart says, I noticed that Dungeon Alchemist allows a type of co-op on Steam, so I tried it out with a friend and built a map together. Will this be enhanced later so we don't share a mouse? I think it'd be really super cool to allow people to collaborate in this way, to group projects and work in this way.
I'm not sure.
That's not really a question. Yeah, will this be enhanced later so we don't share a mouse, I guess? So it's not one system they're sharing. I guess that would be 2 copies, technically. I guess it would be nice if you had, maybe if we each had a copy, we could cloud save and work together on a build. I know that Steam kind of supports that, but imagine we could work on it simultaneously. I don't know how that would work, per se, but it'd be pretty interesting. I think that's kind of what they're going for, is a way where both of them could work on a map simultaneously. One could be working in one zone and one could be working in the other. That makes sense.
Because right now they're sharing the mouse, right?
That's how the Steam share works.
Yeah. I'm not sure if that's gonna be our priority anytime soon, to be honest.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
You know, I want to take a second and showcase some stuff because you're here for the reveal too. So let's take a minute and we're showing off the biomes and we'll take a minute on questions. Can we pause chat for a minute? Not pause it, but please stop asking questions for a couple of minutes so we can catch up after we show these biomes. Okay? Also, Unremarkable Fleshbag, I was looking at the chat and saw what happened. I think you didn't even get time to claim it, so I will send you a key as well. I'll whisper you in just a minute, okay? I'm sorry for the inconvenience. We want to make sure it's all right and we do good by you. I think the chat bot bugged out and then picked you and then picked someone else. So we'll make it right, okay? If you're still here. Can you say something in chat if you are, please? Let's see here. Okay, so with the new update, no, I'll get you. We'll make it good. Don't worry about it, okay? So, we have 2 major new biomes, okay? So you have caves and you have skeletal plains, which is actually kind of a bonus. I wasn't planning on this one. It's very cool. It's interesting. But I know caves is the one everyone wants to see first, most likely. So if you would want, we could start there. So if you look at the different elevations within caves, there's solid rock, which for those of you who have built a cave before using Dungeon Alchemist, you know what you had to do. You had to raise the ground up to the ceiling so you could carve it or sculpt it into a cave. So the solid rock biome generates a cave. Well, not a cave. It generates it lifted to the ceiling. So you are ready to start carving. Oops, I selected the wrong biome. 1 second. I think I put island. No water. That is weird. Do solid rock. Notice it's completely raised, so no more spending time raising it all the way to the top. If you want to start carving a cave, you can do that immediately. We've added some new cave carving tools. So you can actually select the cave carving tool and just start carving right away, making very natural, quick carving caves. I don't know if you notice how quick that is. It's insanely fast. So we're going to go back and generate some more maps here within this biome, but that's what the solid rock one is for. We're going to go to cave system. Which one do you want to pick here, Karel? Lit cave, empty cave, cave, crystal cave, glowing mushroom cave.
Just go for the glowing mushroom cave, yeah.
Glowing mushroom? Okay. Gonna do no water, no lights, no weather. I am kind of confused how the snow would be inside of a cave.
Yeah, that's that's what it is.
It is what it is. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a generated crystal cave using the AI, and it did this in moments. And by the way, when you export this map to your VTT of choice, all of these cave walls are included in the line of sight and wall data. So I've tested this with Foundry, etc., and it exports with the line of sight. It's incredibly cool. It saves you a ton of time. Now, this is a huge game changer for cave building, Underdark, you know, any type of caved biome, etc. Now, I'm going to shift through the different styles so we can see a few. Let's go to Labyrinth.
I suggest something.
Go ahead.
Go for Rich.
Sorry, what?
Go for Rich as the elevation type.
Okay.
Just a normal cave as the vegetation type.
Okay.
By the way, lit cave shouldn't be there anymore. That's something temporary that should have been removed. So don't use that. And then go for lights.
Crypt lights. Okay. Let's check it out.
Crypt lights. Yeah.
Ooh, so it's like a big underground ridge.
Yeah, but try it again, because this one doesn't have actual lights on. Just regenerate it. There's still some of the, you just go change terrain.
Ah, there we go. Cool.
Yeah, there we are.
Not bad. Here, let's drop a token in and
spot.
check it out.
Yeah.
I always like dropping tokens. Ooh, very cool. Nice. So just like, you know, you're at the chasm. You know, it'd be cool if so one thing that I've seen done, Karel, and I don't know if you've seen this or not, but some of our very clever cartographers have started using the black smoke to simulate like a pit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start killing the stream frames by doing this, but you get the gist of what I'm accomplishing here.
Yeah.
I do wish that we had the ability to black out areas, kind of like a water type that just made it dark. You know?
Fog of War is something that's on our planning.
Cool.
For
awesome.
The future. Yeah.
Dark water, that's awesome. I can't wait to do a Pirates of Darkwater campaign. Cool. Okay, that's a very niche reference. Let's move on to a new map here. We're gonna generate, let's try Large Cavern. And we'll do crystals. And we'll no lights this time, but let's do a river. Moria and Goblin Town would be cool ones to make. By the way, sorry I haven't been paying as much attention to chat. It's been a little crazy today, and I've been trying to focus on answering your questions, but also showcase. Make sure we're covering a lot of material in a very short amount of time. We'll still be showcasing plenty of material after Karel leaves as well, so don't stress if you miss it. You know, if you're like, we didn't get to see everything, we will, okay? So here we just generated a river, underground cavern. This looks great. I mean, this is beautiful. It's stunning, and this would save so much time in creating these style of maps. It's so amazing that you figured this out. One other thing I'd like to point out that Karel figured out is that the caves, you can get rid of shadows. So you can have the light hang into shadows or not. So notice how we did that there? The universal light sources, you know how they go into like buildings and stuff? They will not go into caves unless you give them permission.
Oh, we're above 100, Mac.
Yep, we are. One moment here. We're going to set up that giveaway, and then I'm going to send Unremarkable's key as well. We're going to start the next giveaway here. Got 10 minutes on the clock. Bear with me. Now, I'm not any under duress, but bear with me. I may or may not have something that is threatening my life. Bear with me. Okay, 1 second here. Remarkable flesh bag, sorry. Here is your key, my man. Sent it to you. Can you please confirm in chat that you got it? I just DM'd that key to you. What is this pin message? Okay. So please feel free to enter the giveaway at your leisure. Exclamation giveaway to enter. You must be following the stream. And those of you that are already won a key, please don't re-enter. I don't think it'll allow the first one that won, Lucas, but Unremarkable, please don't enter again, okay? If you could avoid it. That way we can keep this all fair. And I just whispered you your Steam key, so can you confirm you got that, please? Okay, we're going to go back up here, and we're going to grab a couple questions. Now, another cool thing about the ceiling thing is you can actually erase the ceiling in parts to allow light to leak through. So let's say there was like a hole in the roof of this cave. You could allow light to get into it. It's actually very cool and intuitive. Carl did a great job on designing this. I really love it. Honestly, when I was playing with it, I had very little feedback for you. Other than like the ability to carve deeper is it, you know?
One really fun way to do this is if you make a lake in the middle, you do like a cave system with a lake, and then you put away the ceiling on the lake. And you could have this really cool effect of like the light.
Oh, kind of like Lord of the Rings style,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
where
yeah.
they're like, okay, you know what? I see what you're putting down here. 1 second. We're gonna erase the cave ceiling on the top. Pop a token. Straight over here. You can see the light leaking into it. That's pretty cool. Ah, I love this. This update is very cool.
Can you move into the lake? Because I think the ceiling is also going to disappear when you move into the unblocked area.
Oh, wow. I do see it. I just can't get out of the water.
Yeah.
Cool. So you can do this in all caves. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Will you make sure, Fleshbag, that you let chat know you got a key? Okay, let's go back up and answer some questions really quick because we fell behind quite a bit, but it's okay. We got to show off some cool new biome stuff. What other seasons weather do you plan to add? This is from Amanda.
Can't answer that yet. It's not like caves is first, the rest is next. We try to focus on one thing at a time.
Okay.
And also probably not my place to make the call on that one.
What is your end goal vision for DA as of right now? And this is from Smash Bear asking.
Our end goal is to be DA, be the only tool you'll ever need to make maps. I think that's our in one sentence summarized. Like we want people to be like, all right, I have no reason to ever go back to Incarnate, Dungeon Draft, or any other tool. Like Dungeon Alchemist is the only one I need, and that's our main objective to get there.
Impressive. I would love to see when that's the case, because like I know, you know, and I don't really like to rag on our product, but one thing we don't really excel on is overworld. We know that, right?
Yeah.
It's world maps. Yeah. It's kind of a struggle thing to do with Dungeon Alchemist, and I can't wait until that's a possibility. You saying that adds a lot of confidence to me seeing that someday. You know, I'm excited for that prospect. Because if Carl's saying he wants it to be a one-stop shop map making and immersion tool, that means it's most likely going to happen. This guy is dedicated. Honestly, you guys have no idea how much time and effort he puts into some of these new features and quality of life, you know, things that get added in that like maybe go unnoticed too. A lot of times, like I try to highlight these features a lot of times too, because there's some amazing new things getting added into Dungeon Alchemist constantly that you may not notice if you blink or look away for a minute. So I appreciate all the effort you contribute and all of your, insight and your knowledge and your expertise. You are incredibly good at what you do. And I'm not just saying that because you're my boss. I do have a profound amount of respect for your ability and your skills.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Let's see here. Okay. I saw that D&D Beyond is working on a 3D VTT. Are you talking with them at all about integrating DA as a tool to create these maps? This is from the Loudest Yeller.
I think it's the other way around. We actually talked to them earlier, just like after the Kickstarter, and I think they looked at us and they were like, "All right, we're gonna build our own competition for Dungeon Alchemist."
Wow.
And that's basically what happened. I think they saw what we did, and now they're doing it on their own. So they're definitely not on their side interested in working with us, I believe. They're more going to be like competitors, I guess. So we'll see how that works out. They've got the money, but I think we've got the passion, and we've also got like a couple of years advantage. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting. It's always good to
Hey,
have some.
look at this
It's
guy
always
putting
good
his
to have some
gloves
other people
on.
doing. Yeah. Mm.
He's ready to take on the big boys. They're the competitor. That's awesome hearing that from you. Okay, let's see here. Do you plan on adding levels in the future? What sort of features would it entail? Will it be within the app, or will you allow it to integrate things like levels module and Foundry? This is a hard hitting question. This is a lot of
levels, as in floor levels, right?
Multiple floors, yes.
Multiple floors, yeah. We do have it on our planning. We do like there's basically two what we internally call elephants in the room, and they're like the circular walls and the floor, like the different floors, different levels, right? Those are the two most requested features, so we can't really ignore them. But they are like I said, they're two very good examples of like our long-term project we're working towards while we do all these updates. Slowly adding different features that we need to be able to actually get to the point where we add different levels. So we do intend to add this because I don't think we can avoid it. If you want to be, like I said, if you want to be the one VTT for everyone, sorry, the one map making.
What did you just say? You heard it here first. You heard it here first. I'm just kidding. It was a slip of the tongue, right?
Yeah. So the one map making tool for everyone. So we're gonna need them at some point. But can't promise when.
Uh-oh, chat's freaking out. Yeah. So with levels, I've always envisioned them like layers. Like there's different layers to your map, just kind of how like Photoshop has layers. That you wouldn't see the layer below and you move up kind of like a stage. That's how I always envisioned it, but I don't know if that's how you guys plan on making it, or like how do you envision it working within DA? I'm curious of that. Like at this stage.
It doesn't really work in 3D though, because for example, if you would have like the first person view, you can't really see the second level like that if it's a layer. So
well,
we do envision it actually as like a fully 3D layer on top of it, but you wouldn't see it unless you like move to like if you're in level editing mode, like map making mode, you could switch to the different height levels and then like see only the different level with black around it. Mm-hmm. But if you go to first person view, you would see the entire building, right, including the roof.
Well, I mean, in first person, you would have to run through it all to get through those lower levels. That would make sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, you envision it in a sort of stacked kind of layering system where they're all interconnected.
Yeah.
So stairs would lead upward, etc., and carving in caves could go downward, and pits would. Stream, can you see us? Stream, can you hear us? Really sorry about that. My computer is just being a dink lately. Okay, first things first, let's restart that giveaway, okay? We're going to start that first. And I lost a ton of chat, so... Remy says, y'all don't pay me so I can say I respect the hard work and talent went into this program without sounding as being paid to... Yeah, she's not a shill when she says it. No. I honestly, like, I am so impressed with some of the solutions and stuff you guys come up with constantly, because the community is always throwing you guys new curveballs. And I can tell that, like, Dungeon Alchemist has evolved from, like, its original concept so much into something entirely that you guys didn't even anticipate to a degree. It's grown to an incredible scale, and it's impressive, you know, and just the fact that you are constantly coming up with all these new additions for quality of life and features and stuff, and it actually works as a very decent VTT without even trying. You know, it's pretty cool. I like it. Anyway, so I lost a lot of my chat, so we may have to start some questions back over, and I apologize if your question hasn't been answered. Can you please rewrite your question? I do see a few though. There is some chat from like the last couple minutes. It says here, palpitation regarding the layered level question. Do you mean it would be similar to what Sims does right now? Have you played around in what Sims does, where it kind of like it just lifts it up to the next floor when you're building on that floor, and then lifts it up to the next floor? Like it would be like the layers like we were talking about.
Yeah, that's exactly how we imagine it as well. Yeah.
Am I getting an echo? 1 second.
Oh, maybe I haven't. Are you still getting an echo? I'm.
Oh, I know where it is. Okay, I found it.
Okay.
We're good. Sorry about that. Turn you up a little bit. Say something one more time.
Hi.
There we go. Perfect. Perfect.
All right. So yeah, just to repeat, I do see it like The Sims. Yeah.
We should start a GoFundMe to upgrade Mac. You guys are fun. Okay, moving on. Let's see. Ton of giveaways stuff to scroll through. Is there a plan for more fantasy expansions after the stretch goals are completed? I would personally pay for more fantasy expansions to give more options and assets. So I guess, do we plan to add additional fantasy themes or biomes or aesthetics after Above and Beyond? I guess, you know, because we plan to do other things as paid expansions, it would make sense to offer additional ones potentially.
I think so too. I think that makes sense. We don't have anything specifically planned yet. Is the volume okay right now? Because people were complaining about the volume. I'm going to wait a bit and see if the volume's okay before I continue.
Okay, we'll go back to chat and just double check. Dang, we're almost up to 200 viewers. No, that can't be right. It must be stacking them from before.
I'm really quiet still.
You're really quiet? I'll turn you up in Discord, okay? One moment. Turn you up in Discord. In Labs. How about now? Say something.
How are we doing right now?
That should
I
be
audible?
much. That's better? Okay, we fixed it. Thank you, everyone.
Right.
Sorry for that. The crash just messed everything up. Okay, we are all good to go, though. We're back up.
Yeah, so I was answering a question.
Go ahead.
What was I answering a question about again?
Something
about
about...
the expansions. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, I mean, our goal is to include everything you need for like your standard fantasy setting into the base package without any additional DLC. That's been our goal from the start. Like I said, it's the one place you need to go. But of course, fantasy is huge. There's a lot of other stuff that's kind of more specific, and that would fit perfectly into some smaller DLC expansions that we would like to add later. Yeah. But cool. No specifics yet. We're not really thinking about that at this point.
I do love that you're more focused on the present. You know, you're mainly focused on the goals at hand, not so much, hey, let's plan out years in advance. There is a demand. They've heard your demand. They know that you guys are interested in these added, you know, Cyberpunk, Shadowrun, all these different themes. But we'll get there when we get there, is what we have to say. Got to be the dad in the front seat of the car, you know. Yeah. So, okay, let's see here. Teddy Bonkers. I like to populate large maps with loads of different tokens using Hero Forge. This cost a fortune. Are there plans to do anything about it, like Steam Workshop tokens? I'll let you answer this one.
Yes, and that's probably also a big announcement, I guess. In one of our next updates, we do plan to start adding custom 3D model imports, which also include the ability to import your custom tokens.
That won't be this update, just to clarify.
No, not this update, definitely not. But it is planned for, let's say, more the short term than the long term. It's one of our next things we're going to work on.
Okay,
And
so
we're
Ben,
also,
go
and
ahead.
we're also going to add it to the Steam Workshop. So the ability to share your 3D tokens within Steam Workshop, so people can download them and use them themselves, is also part of this plan.
Is there a way to support like a marketplace within that where people could sell their assets?
There is actually Steam does support it, but I don't think we want to. We like the open atmosphere that the workshop currently has. Like the people share their stuff, and we would like
Mhm.
to extend this to 3D models as well.
So I guess if someone wants to sell their stuff, there's lots of other platforms where they could do it.
Yeah, go
Patreon,
on
Ko-fi,
Patreon,
etc.
exactly.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah.
With that in mind, will we be expanding Steam Workshop to include abstract asset templates that people want to upload? Because there's been a lot of neat ones shared lately. They're really
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, absolutely. I do think abstract, like pre-configured abstract asset packs is something we definitely want to add to Steam Workshop sooner than later.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you for clarifying on that. I'm just double checking the giveaway. Functional. Remember, you guys, you have about 3 minutes left to enter the giveaway, guys and gals. If you want to enter, type !giveaway and make sure you are following the stream. Okay, we are rounding up our time here. We got about 5 minutes left with the big boss. So would you guys rather ask questions or showcase content with him here? That's the big thing. I got
I
one
would
more
actually
question.
like,
Go ahead. Go
yeah,
ahead.
I would actually like to answer Ben the Bear's question.
Yeah, that one is a good one. I was
Actually.
going to ask you that one
Yeah.
next, actually. Go ahead. Is it the one about the
So,
day-to-day?
yeah.
Go
The
ahead.
day-to-day one.
So I'll read it out loud so the whole stream can hear it, and then we'll go from there. So Ben the Bear asks, what is the day in the life like for Karel? Programming C++ with Unity Engine, then Vim and the artists provide a load of assets to integrate?
Yeah, so for starters, we're a fully remote company. We started on this project during the COVID lockdown, so we were forced to to work remotely, and we kind of stayed that way. So we don't have an
Love it.
office. I work from like where I'm sitting right here. This is where I sit all day. Wim works from home. All our artists work from home. Um, we meet in real life for like Christmas, like dinner or stuff like that. But usually we work from home. So how does my day start? I get up, I take a shower, eat some food, get down here because I just live right above here. This is like the bottom floor office. I get over here, and then usually Wim is already up, and we start a Google Meets call. We start a call. Sometimes it's like a 5 minute call, but sometimes when we have to like discuss a new feature or like talk about like you have to talk about specifics on how to, for example, do the caves. It can be like an hour call or an hour and a half call until we're like completely like burned out of calling because like these calls can get really intense. We'll be like discussing like all right for the case for example like how do you actually call the different brushes, how do we lay out them, what do they do actually, how fast do they like produce caves, how high should the ceilings be, how high should the walls be, how steep should they be, all that kind of stuff. Um, then once we're kind of done and we agree on everything, Wim goes to talk to the 3D artists. He kind of manages them on his own. I don't really interact with them too much because Wim is the creative director, and they figure it out on their own. Like they're really good at their stuff. It's not my job to interfere. I just sometimes suggest things that I'm like, oh, you know, it would be really cool if we had this, like this or that, and then Wim usually says like, oh, we're already working on it, something like that. So then I go off and I start working and start programming. I'm not programming in C++. Unity is programmed in C Sharp. So Dungeon Alchemist is also written in C Sharp. Um, and a couple of times during the day, we usually have a quick meeting where I'm like, hey Wim, I'm implementing this, but I don't really know how to do this, or like I don't know how you feel about this. So I call him up. We have like a 5 to 10 minutes chat again.
Can I
We
interrupt
go
you for
through
just
it.
1 second?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
apologize. I just wanted to make sure Oh, he already claimed it. Perfect. Dustball Legacy, congratulations on winning a copy of Dungeon Alchemist, and thank you for claiming it so quickly. Can we get a pat on the back, a congratulations for him? And I'll let you finish your thought while I give him his key. Give them their key.
All right. So during the day, I'm usually working on my own, just programming in C Sharp. I use Visual Studio for the people who are also programmers as like the programming environment. And then maybe at the end of the day, we do a quick call to see like what happened, what we did, what Wim added. Um, and I guess that's basically every day of my life during the week. And to be honest, I enjoy it. I'm really someone who likes to focus. So I really like working alone. I like to hyper focus and go behind my PC, work for a couple of hours, just programming, doing my thing. I've noticed that if you're in an office, people tend to interrupt you even when if you have headphones on and stuff like that. And I'm personally way more productive when I'm working on my own alone. Now the advantage is that this kind of work can get lonely, but the good thing is that my wife and also works from home, so I'm not sitting in an empty house all day long. During lunch, I eat with my wife, and a couple of days per week, the baby is here as well. If she doesn't go to kindergarten, that's the term, right? Like
Yeah, that's
if
what they
she's not
call
at
it in the U.S.
kindergarten,
too, actually.
yeah. If she's not at kindergarten, she's at home, so we see her. I can see her as well. I see her in the morning. I see her when I go take a break to get some water from the fridge or whatever. So it's not as lonely as it could be, and that's also pretty important.
I love our work from home remote deal, like a lot. I mean, I don't think I could work in the office with you guys. It'd be really hard, but you guys would have to give me a private jet or something every day. But you know, I really do like the way we do things. You're talking about all these meetings though, and I'm like, oh, I feel so left out. But it's okay. I usually take care of business on my end.
To be honest, Mac, we do feel a little bit guilty about this on our end. I do
It's
feel
just
like
time difference. It's no big
yeah,
deal.
it's not only that. I feel like we're striking a better balance the last couple of updates than before. But the thing is, um, I like you said, if we have a meeting of an hour, that's already an hour, like 1/8 of our workday gone right there. And
Hmm.
then I just start working. I'm always working against like a deadline of a next update. So I really have to find time to actually be able to talk to anyone else. That's why I don't do any meetings with the other 3D artists either, because I mean I just don't have the time for it. At some point, Wim and I did feel a little bit guilty about kind of leaving you out there doing your thing without like kind of engaging with you enough because we really couldn't find time. I feel like we've been balancing this better since the last update.
No,
I
you
do
guys
feel
are
like
great. You guys are great. And I think it's good that you kind of just keep me on a short leash and let me do my thing. You know what I mean? I run the community, do the streams, and do all this other stuff. I take care of business on my end, and it works. And it's been good. I do want to cut into that for a minute, that thought, and start discussing this new biome before you got to take off because I know your time is limited. So, really quickly, this skeleton plains biome is a new biome, and it has a bunch of really like creepy, kind of gross terrain paints you can use. And a lot of people lately have been asking, can we get the ability to make like the inside of a creature? Like the inside of its intestines or a leviathan? And I would just like to say that in playing with this, it's very possible when you use this biome. Um, what are your thoughts on this biome, Carl, in general?
well, funny story. When Wim, so Kenny is the one he's our shader artist.
Hmm.
He did all the creepy stuff for this biome. And when Wim was first showing this to me, he was like, "Carl, is this too much? Is this too nasty?" And I was immediately like, "Yeah, it's definitely way too nasty." Like the original version of this one was really like some body horror movie kind of
I saw the early
shit stuff.
pictures. It was
Yeah, it was nasty, and we were like, we both were like, we should probably tone this down for like Peggy reasons. like,
just so you know, we don't get a rating. I do like how we
yeah,
went from hey, no blood assets to here's a whole lake of blood and piles of
yeah,
skeletons and gore. We're
yeah.
not
No, I
sending a
mean,
mixed message at all, but
yeah. So at least try to imagine that this thing was way gorier than it is right now.
we
Um,
toned it down, guys.
we toned it way down, yeah. But it's still kind of on the edge, I guess. But I would still. It's not the thing is. it's not realistic blood or anything, is it? Right?
No, it's we
Yeah,
say it's Hawaiian Punch
yeah, exactly.
or Kool-Aid.
It's yeah.
So I've been while you've been talking about the biome, I actually raised the ceiling up of the skeletons. This is the reason I want an instant raise all, is so you could do it with any biome quickly. And
Yeah.
then you go in and start drawing your cave, right? So let's go to the cave tool. And I did this with the blood and guts and gore. Oh, it's gonna look like, if you get down in here, it is just like really morbid. Here, let's put a torch or something and light it up a bit. But if you kind of look here, it just looks like you're in intestines or like inside of a body. It's really gross. I was playing around with this and discovered it by accident when I was playing around with the cave tool, and I was like, well, that's cool. Now we kind of have a Leviathan biome too, where you're like inside of a killed, beast or a dragon or something. Anyway, it's kind of neat. That's how I interpreted this, at least. Okay, so let's talk about a couple features before you take off really quickly.
Actually, Mac, I'm kind of enjoying this, so I think I'll stick around for a while.
Oh, well, that is a pleasure. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Okay, so I would like to show off we showed off the caving tool a bit. I would like to show off pits, if that's okay. You want to do those next? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm going to generate a new map.
While you build this, I'm going to tell a little bit of a story about this, because it's like the thing Wim is really good at is he's good at abusing what's already in there to build something that was never intended to be built like that. So at some point he was like, hey, look, I really want to do some canals and stuff, but it's not really possible, but I did it anyway. And then
It's not really possible, but we did it. I love that.
But it didn't really work really well because he couldn't place objects in it and stuff. So then it's like, okay, so this kind of works, but not really. And now I have a whole bunch of problems to solve to allow you to place objects into canals and stuff like that. So that's how it goes, and it's fine. I like challenges, so Wim likes to give me these things that I'm immediately like, no, sorry, this is not going to work, and then we have to figure out. Then we have to figure out how to make it work.
I like it when you guys say it isn't going to work, and then someone comes up with an alternate suggestion. Like when you were doing Winter Wonderlands, I was like, could the igloo just have an invisible floor? And you guys like, oh, that could work, and so the objects could move with it, and like I like that. There's a lot of bouncing back in our team. Like, if you have an idea or a suggestion, the devs, the artists, they're open to hear it. I love that a lot of my feedback has made it into Dungeon Alchemist. Like, objects I've suggested. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to play with my hammer. Is it in already? I don't think it's in the build.
I don't think it's in this build yet. No.
Oh my gosh, it is. It is.
Oh,
sorry, I gotta look at it. This is my band hammer. I would say I'm quite worthy to wield this hammer. I love it. This is so great. Ah, it's so good. Okay, so I'm going to show off the pits really quick. Got distracted. So there's a new room type, and these rooms are called pits. So there's a whole bunch. You got random, acid pit, bottomless pit, canal, and just pit. I like bottomless pit. It's kind of my favorite, if I'm not going to lie. Okay, oh, am I an organic? Yep, I am.
Yeah, you're an organic.
I still think it should make a pit, but look more organically carved instead of a wall. That's my thought, but... Because right now it generates with these walls, and, like, imagine a pit that's just a pit. Just a dug hole or a hole, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, well, it didn't generate without the wall. It's okay. Anyway, so they have these dark, deep pits, and you can actually use the wall removal tool, I thought, to get rid of it, but I don't know why it isn't allowing me to.
Yeah, because you're not, you don't have
a room.
Yeah, that's probably an issue. That's probably a bug.
Yeah, because I've removed the walls on the side of this, so it's just a deep pit. Anyway, by the way, we're still before bug busting in the update, so there's still some bugs in this build. There's going to be things that are just kind of wonky and not functional, so just a heads up, everyone. Let's draw another pit.
Mac, I think these pits will work better if you're not in a cave biome. So give it a try right now. like on a dark parchment or something like that, or yeah.
Okay, well let's do dark parchment then.
Yeah.
I guess I
There's
just
couple
have to
of
draw a
methods.
room and put it inside of it, or just draw a
Yeah,
pit
exactly.
itself.
Yeah. Make like a crypt dungeon or whatever, or something like that, and then.
I'm just gonna look at a couple of them so we can kind of
Oh,
see
yeah.
what they look like. But notice how they're deep here, and you can put objects inside of them. You said, right?
Yeah.
Here's the
So
acid pit.
a fun one to do is to make, for example, an alchemist laboratory with some like different pits in them, like an acid pit flowing through it.
Ah, that's interesting. Let's make a lab and do it. Oof. Did it anyway. Oh, it readjusted to that one, that's why. Okay, here we go. We'll just put a pit right here.
Yeah.
Small one. That's pretty cool. That's neat.
Yeah. And then you can put some objects in it and stuff like that.
You can put objects in the acid?
Yeah, definitely.
I guess you can't really see them, though. I guess if it was like something coming out of it, like a staircase or a ladder.
If you had a canal, you could actually see inside it.
Gotcha, the water ones.
The canal is partly transparent, yeah.
Is there going to be the option to change the water in the canals to different water? Like, or are we just going to have all the different types?
We're going to have all the different types, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. So there's a muddy water. You can put what in them?
Yeah.
Stones?
You can put stairs in them as well to make
stairs.
to
Gotcha.
allow people to move.
Let's find a staircase. Good in this muck. I like that one. Raw hewn. Ooh, you know what? I want to show people something really quick while you're here. The collision's off. This is a big deal. See this right here? This arrow? You now have a Z slider, people. So you can put the stairs wherever you want. Watch chat. So the Z slider allows you to, when collisions are disabled, to raise objects up or sink them into the ground, so you can merge them in and kind of make new objects. And this is really cool because you can make like abandoned ruins look like they're kind of merged into the dirt, and so it's been like lost to the sands of time and kind of over it. I'll show that on a new map here in a minute. Actually, we showed pits. Let's jump over to that and I'll show that off. Let's go to forest. Actually, no, let's do jungle, and then we'll have side. Okay, so how I'm gonna showcase this is with a boat. So like this boat here, just pop it in and make it rather large. We're going to disable collisions. I wish we could have collisions off by default, like a default setting. So it's just always off, but then you just kind of sink it in, and now it looks like, you know, this boat's been here a while, just kind of chilling out.
Yeah, you can do some really creative, fun stuff with it.
Well, and another thing too, the alternative, the exact opposite of this, is airships. So now we can raise up ships without propping them up on, you know, land or invisible objects or pillars. So now I mean, this is the exact polar opposites here, is how you can use this. Sink objects into the ground to make them look more worn or part of the environment. You can, you know, now sink things into the ground so they mesh more evenly with the level it's at, you know, like bridges and stuff that always weirdly sagged off the side. It's a huge game changer. This is going to change the way people build forever in Dungeon Alchemist. And some of you out there, I know you're already, your brain gears are spinning 100 miles an hour thinking of how you could do this. In one map that me and Sack made, our Hocus Pocus map, we had to go through and damn edit the cages and the chandeliers and a whole bunch of stuff. Won't have to do that anymore. Any damn editing for raising stuff, you don't even have to touch the damn file anymore. And I don't really like talking about damn editing on stream. I don't like supporting it or, you know, giving tips on it, but now it's not even a thing. You don't have to do it anymore. It's such a hassle, and now it won't be a hassle anymore. This is a big time saver, a big game changer, and will allow you to do so much more with your objects in your maps going forward. Oh my gosh. Okay, sorry. This is what my favorite new quality of life feature. in the next update. If I had to pick one, it's this. Hands down.
This is one of these examples that people have been requesting forever. And there's just like a couple of prerequisites, stuff that needs to be implemented before this can actually be added as like the last step in the chain of development. And we were now at the point where we were at the last step, so adding this feature was actually like 10 minutes work, but it took many previous implementations and stuff for this to only be 10 minutes work.
I can imagine this going towards multi-level building or being a foundational step towards it as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, those of you asking about multi-level building, we brushed on it earlier, but this type of thing, the Z-axis manipulation, is a foundational step towards getting towards that later on. And it's something that the devs, he said it's an elephant in the room. He is interested, they're very interested in tackling this problem and making it, work multi-level, but it's something that will be later on down the road. Okay, we're getting a lot of questions while we're doing this. Should we just kind of keep showcasing or also do the questions? I'll let you decide, my man.
Go ahead. You're the streamer, Mac.
Okay, well, the Z-axis slider work for assets that are carved into the ground. I doubt it, right? Like the ones that fit into the ground, like wells and.
No.
Okay.
They're literally the only ones that are exempt of the Z-axis slider.
Okay.
Because they will create holes in the terrain.
I remember when I messed around with the olive, like the wheel, the grinding wheel. I shrunk it using dam editing, and there was like a pit around it, like a big hole, and I had to move it somewhere else in the map and cover that with rocks so it wasn't, and then move it over somewhere else, and then it worked. Yeah. It was really awkward. So yeah, definitely don't play around with those files too much. They get a little wonky. And I can understand why they're designed to sink into the ground, and so they have a fixed location. Anyway, let's see here. Will we be able to eventually do this with rooms, the Z-axis? So I'm assuming that goes along what we were talking with earlier. I mean, you could do it with objects right now to a degree. So like the shed and stuff, we could do that with.
Yeah, maybe at some point. Can't really answer that right now.
Cool. Moving on. Are we close to getting a trace layer? Oh, this has been asked a lot lately, and I know I discussed this with you recently. I'll let you say to them what you said to me. But just in seeing the Z-axis stuff, just throwing this out there, if we had an abstract that fit to the size of the map, the exact size of the squares, and we just were able to lift it up higher, we could fill that with something that's a PNG and use it for the build. Or, put it down on the ground or put it wherever we want. I've seen people come up with solutions using abstracts. There was a tips and trick about it just yesterday from Retsim. So anyway.
Well, yeah. Now that you're saying this is something we could do. Like, we could make a map-sized abstract plane that you could just put an image on, I guess.
If we could adjust the opacity of it, for instance, and just put an image in, it would work for a tracing layer for now. And I mean, realistically, you could also just set it so it's only visible in top-down. So it's like when you're in 3D, that one asset isn't visible, so it's not blocking everything, so you can build, but then when it's in top-down, you see it when you're drawing rooms, placing stuff. Just a thought. But anyway, I was seeing that, and I thought, well, that could be a workaround, a solution. Anyway, proceed.
Yeah, not this update, but I think we could use the abstract objects to make this happen somehow.
Okay, cool. Are we getting more rock assets with this next upgrade? I'll answer this one. Yes, a lot more rocks. Geysers, stalagmites, a ton of different rocks. Here, let's look at them, actually. You want a rock? So we got all these different new cave rocks and stones. The corrupted stone, it's kind of like a lava rock. I was hoping for some stones with like veins of ore in them, like gold and stuff, but I guess that didn't make...
There are a couple of...
There's this like corrupted one, but it's got like red in it. You see that? It kind of looks like a vein of ore. Just a little bit. Let's keep scrolling, we'll see. Oh, there is one. There's one. Oh, I hadn't seen these yet. They weren't in the last build, so I hadn't dived through this build yet. Awesome. Cool. So we've got some with ore veins in them. That is incredibly cool.
So
That
you
is
can finally start mining in your campaigns. This is now officially possible.
There's all these new stalagmites, which are great. They're a lot more pointy and sharp and dangerous looking than the previous ones. And these also generate with the caves, if I'm not mistaken, when you do like the cave different generations. It would be cool if these generated these different veins of ore.
They do.
Oh, they do?
They
I
do.
hadn't noticed that. Jeez, I am just so blind.
They're just in there, like there's just a low, let's say, drop chance of them spawning.
I guess because it's a vein of gold, you wouldn't want it like constantly
Yeah.
everywhere. Okay.
It's like the geysers or the lava.
It's like Minecraft.
Yeah.
Which do they show up in all of them, or is there some that they show up more in?
They show up in all of them, but if you have like probably large cavern is most likely. No. Probably just cave system is most likely to spawn them.
Okay, let's do. I like the glowing mushroom. Water. I got to do one with snow just for the lulz. We're gonna put it in there. I love it. I mean, I guess this could also just be an outside map, you know, with all the snow.
Yeah, but I mean, snow caves are a thing. I mean, if they're maybe not this deep, but they are a thing.
It would mostly be by the mouth of it, or if there was like a hole or something.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, I do see. Okay, there's some different ones, but I haven't seen a gold one yet. But I'll take your word for it. Probably just like a rare drop type thing.
Don't take my word for it. I'll have to check.
It also could not be in this build yet, so.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, moving on. Let's showcase another feature here. So we have discussed pits. We have discussed the cave tool, the new biomes. We've discussed the new liquids. We discussed the Z slider. Let's show organic roots. I think that'll be pretty cool in a cave, actually. I like how it works in caves. So when you go to draw a room now under AI settings, you can set the room to be regular, which is the default, or organic, which removes the walls and windows and doors. And now let's say you wanted an alchemist laboratory inside of, a cave, deep in a cave. You could do that. And you just drag it around this here, and it fits around the squares. And boom, generates you a little lab inside the cave. Or maybe you want to put some beds or barracks or something in these caves over here. You could do that. This could be a kobold cavern, So it decorates it automatically for you, saving you tons of time. You can do this outdoors, inside. Now, I do have to ask, do these generate LOS walls at all with this wall?
The LOS is generated by the caves, right? So it's already there.
Got you. So it doesn't generate an additional LOS, is what I was asking.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, cool.
So this is the one thing that's probably the most difficult thing that we added to this update.
I love the angles.
That's what I want to point out. The angles. You're seeing the angles? That right there is what I was saying earlier. To be able to support diagonal rooms, like rooms with diagonal walls in the AI, this is like this foundational step we had to take. Because now it does support AI that works diagonally, which means that it also will be possible in the future to make it work with diagonal or circular walls. And this is something we thought very important because we didn't want to cut out a room in a square shape inside a cave because it makes no sense. So we wanted the objects to kind of fit against the wall in a more organic way. And it's not perfect, but I'm pretty proud of how it turns out.
Dang. This is impressive. Just looking at it and seeing how this is like a foundational layer for diagonal rooms and circular rooms, and how this enhances our AI it's a game changer, Karel. It really is cool. I love this. It's very interesting, and I love how it laid it out kind of organically. I mean, I would make a couple adjustments like this weapon rack, but it's probably just the way the cave is, and with time, I'm sure this will get refined. But I think overall, it did a pretty good job laying this out. It put it in an order that makes sense. It puts the beds close to the wall or where they might be, And oh my gosh, I really like it. I only have to make some subtle adjustments, which I usually do in almost any AI room anyway.
Yeah.
This update, it packs a lot of punch as far as quality of life is concerned. I will say it's a little bit lighter on the object, but it's mostly because a lot of the objects were included in the last update. A lot of the cave and lava stuff was meant to be part of the last update. It was supposed to be 2 updates in one, but we ended up delaying it because the AI was giving you so many problems and you wanted to make it perfect, if I'm not mistaken. That was the reasoning.
Yeah.
Okay, so as a result, a lot of the cave, everything is lava, was delayed just a little bit, but that's why you're getting this rapid, quick update with, you know, all of these cool quality of life features that were hammered out in the last couple of months. Goblin, this will be available on the 14th of March, so just a little over 10 days. Or 9 days, I guess. So, little under 10 days. So, okay. With organic rooms, is there anything else you wanted to touch on with that, or is there a room type you liked that was interesting?
Yeah, what's also fun to do, if you make a forest and you raise a part way up with a steep decline, you can put an organic room on top, and it will put everything against like the edge of the
Oh,
map. So
yeah, you told me about that. Okay, let's take a look. Let's do that.
So just make it like forest, hills, something standard.
Oh, gotcha. Here.
And then you raise the terrain.
Let's do mountain. Hills is good enough? Yeah, let's do it with hills. These are
hills.
Okay, so we're gonna go through and draw. Let's do. It would be cool if we had like a camp, you know?
No. But first, raise the terrain. Raise the terrain way up.
Way up.
Make like a plateau.
Okay. 1 second.
Yeah, and make it same level. So flatten it somewhat.
Kind of like that.
Yeah, something like that. And now put some kind of room, like a bedroom or whatever, on top of the plateau.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit bigger.
All right. Sorry, I'm like, yeah. We'll flatten it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Just speed this up.
Perfect. And I'll make a farmstead there. That's perfect.
Okay. Let's see. Stead.
Or a smithy or whatever. Farmstead will do. Yeah.
Something like this?
Yeah, but make it organic first.
Oh, I thought I had it organic. Oh, okay.
No, it's not organic yet.
There we go.
And make sure to include the walls as well. No, make it bigger.
Say that again?
Oh, that's fine. No, that's exactly what I wanted to see. No, it was fine. It was fine as it was.
I'll just redraw it here. Yeah. Like this. I'm hanging off the edge too.
Yeah.
Question. Old cave maps, will it be easy to convert them, or do the caves effectively have to be redrawn? That is a good question.
So I think that's pretty neat, right? It puts everything to the sides because it
kind of fills in where it can. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it kind of looks like a camp was set up here on the top or something.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a bit weird that it's like kind of...
It would be cool if the room kind of snapped more to the space like it does with caves. But I get what you're doing and trying to accomplish here. That's cool. There was a question. Old cave maps, will it be easy to convert them so the lighting and stuff is and all the walls and everything, will they automatically, you know, export now with the new update, or will they have to be redrawn with the new tool?
I think old map caves, I think the old cave maps are the old cave maps, and they're not really supported with new. Like, I mean, I don't know what's a cave in an old cave map, right? Because it wasn't intended to be a cave, so.
Dang. Okay. Okay, well, I mean, that makes sense. Like, the logic behind being able to do those things didn't exist. So, realistically, unless you planned around it, it probably won't work. So.
That's better, right?
That fit really good. It put it all in that space. It looks really good. The staircase is a little weird, but it's cool overall. Yeah. Okay, will we be able to create real rooms in caves, not organic? Yeah, of course. You can draw real rooms in there with walls if you want. Let's see. Will there be an option down the road to have hotkeys to open different menus? I mean, there already are a lot of hotkeys. These on the side here are all hotkeyed as like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. There's a bunch of hotkeys up in like here. This is one that I know our friend Dirty Rollers RPG is very eager to see. The ability to show and hide the grid with a hotkey. I know you asked about that on our AMA, and Karel put it in for you. So, not working. Oh, there we go. So now you can quickly, you know, hotkey in that, but he's always adding in different hotkeys for stuff, and I'm constantly pinging him with ideas for hotkeys. Just the other day, I was like, "Hey, can we get a hotkey for the eraser, the object eraser?" Because I have a Steam Deck, which is like a hotkey button pad that you can program with like tons of functions and things, and so I have a hotkey for like all sorts of things when it comes to map making. It saves me a tremendous amount of time. Could a map be half jungle, half cave?
Yes.
Yes, yeah, we just draw the cave on the jungle map.
Yeah.
So what you would do is you would go to, say, new, and you would generate a jungle map, right?
Yep.
And then there is the cave tool, which let's go over that because I didn't really show it earlier. So I did a little bit, but you were talking, I didn't really explain it. So if you go to the new cave tool under the terrain editor, it says draw cave area. Make sure you make the brush as big as possible. This is another use case for just raising it automatically to the roof. A button for that would be awesome. But you raise it up, and then a bunch of new tools populate, and this space now allows you to carve a cave in it. So you can add a cave to any map you choose. So let's just say you wanted a cave over here in this corner of the map, right? Now you go to draw cave. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller for the mouth of the cave. Then we come in, and then we'll make it bigger here and kind of come over to this side. And then make it smaller again to kind of just have a little tunnel coming over. And there you have a cave system in the jungle. This rock here from the entrance. It's incredibly awesome. It's a cool tool. It already is populated, you know, some different rocks and stalagmites and stuff. It would be cool if it would populate more mushrooms, even like regular ones and stuff. But I'm not sure if it does that or not. I haven't played with it a ton. Can you verify or not if it, when you're drawing caves, if it'll make mushrooms in it, or is that just...
I don't think it does mushrooms.
Okay. I know that's one of my go-to. That, like algae, ivy, dirt piles, like those little mole mounds. Those look great in caves.
You should tell Drew about this. I don't think he's on this stream, so...
Yeah, I will tell him. I'll message him a couple ideas after. So, I think we've covered almost everything I wanted to majorly reveal, but I would like to go through the objects with you guys and discuss them and showcase a few of them that are really cool. Karel, we still have some questions coming in if you want to stick around and continue answering them. I don't want to keep you longer than we have to with you being sick. I don't want to tax your voice.
Yeah, I'm gonna wrap this one up because I'm getting a little bit tired. I woke up with a terrible cold this morning. That's why my voice is a little bit raspy. So I'm gonna wrap it up.
It's also getting late where you live, so understandable. Karel, thank you so much. You are a mensch. Thank you for being here. I'm so glad to get you on the stream finally. It was such a treat. It was a blast having you. If you guys and gals could give Karel, you know, just some appreciation, some love before he takes off, it would be amazing. And I would love to have you back sometime in the future, you know, after this update, after your break and stuff, we, you know, maybe get you back. But you know, that'll be a ways out, but thank you so much for being here. Seriously appreciate it so much. Getting a lot of love in chat right now.
I enjoyed it a lot. I will try to hop by again another time, but yeah, like as you know,
even just being here in chat is awesome. You know, when you can pop in when you can, it's amazing. I do appreciate you being here today, though. It was a very special and momentous occasion to be able to get you on the stream when we had a reveal window as well, because that's really cool hearing your insight and thoughts behind the development process. Usually, I kind of just speculate to your thoughts, you know, because you're not here. So, but ultimately, I do love that you were here for this. It was great. And I know it was weird doing this on the Sunday for everyone here. It's a different day than we normally do. Thank you so much for being here. By the way, don't take off. We still have plenty of stream left. We're going to be showcasing stuff for at least another half hour. But Karel, I would like to, you know, let you go if you want to take off now. Thank you so much for being here. You're amazing. Yes.
One more thing, people have been asking about doing a drum solo. I'm not gonna do that because it's a little bit too late here to bother my neighbors with it.
Next time we'll plan for an earlier stream.
Yeah, actually, this is an electronic drum set, so it could be piped right into my PC, so it doesn't make any sound like that. So, but we'd have to set it up first to make this work. So let's see if there's a possibility maybe when I come on next time.
Awesome. Well,
All
thank
right.
you so much for being here. And honestly, you'd be welcome back anytime. I don't think anyone would have a problem with you coming back. So thank you, Carl. You have a lovely evening. Tell
Awesome.
Ilsa hello, and you have a good night.
All right, thank you.
I'm gonna try to end this call. I've never done this before, so.
Yeah.
Okay, I see it. Hey, see you later. Bye.
Bye.
Wow.
All right. Gotta head out then, right?
Okay, yep. Hey, see you later. Bye. Okay, stream. That was so cool. Honestly, it was such a treat having him here. Like, how often do we get that? Like, that's the first time since I've been employed with Dungeon Alchemist that we've had a dev on this. Well, that we've had Carl on the stream. We've had Vim when we were streaming on Facebook, but it was almost like 6 months ago. It's been a while since we've had a dev on the stream. Okay, so let's talk Everything is Lava. For those of you that weren't here, we've showcased a few features so far. We pretty much showcased all the major heavy-hitting features for this update, including the new biomes, cave building, Z-axis manipulation, pits, a whole bunch of stuff, but we have some objects to show as well. Oh man, yeah, you guys, you know what? I actually have one other thing that I didn't get to talk about that we'll share with you really quick. That's going to be kind of a new tool. I don't know if you guys saw this new tab up here. Oh, here, let me reload DA really quick. It's acting funky. I'm not aware of any new special effects, but there could be. There's still stuff coming out that they're fine-tuning. The build gets updated almost every other day right now, so it's possible. By the Vanyakos, thank you for saying that. I appreciate it. These streams get a little hectic, and I apologize if we missed any questions or they kind of slipped under the radar. There's a lot going on with the stream crashing, with the chat bot bugging out, the giveaways. You guys were very patient and awesome. I really do appreciate you. Staying around when the stream crashed, as well as being patient while we went through question at a time. So, you slept through the giveaway? So if you go to File and Settings, there is First Person mode here. You can disable the head bob and also turn the field of view down. And when the field of view is lower, it actually kind of feels slower. Because when the field of view is higher, it moves around much. It gives off the impression it's moving faster when the field of view slider is higher. So just a quick example. So when you're in first person view with the FOV slider up, that's how most games work. When the FOV is higher up, it gives off the impression it's moving quicker. I appreciate all you being here, part of this reveal. It was awesome. I was so excited to be able to do this very special reveal. But yeah, I understand what you're saying, Sprig. I don't have a solution other than that at the moment, though. Griffin, I mean, basically, the devs, Vim has said he's interested in building an overworld biome, which we had an AMA on Reddit a couple weeks ago, and that was his answer there, is that they'd like to make an overworld map maker or an overworld map drawer type biome. And then Carl today said that the goal is to make Dungeon Alchemist a one-stop shop map maker. So you don't need to use 3 different map makers to make all your maps. You just need one. That's the plan. So, okay, let's see here. Let's just generate an... Oh, actually, let's talk about these Cartomancer Chronicles really quickly. So this is going to be a new weekly newspaper built within Dungeon Alchemist. When you load up Dungeon Alchemist for the first time that week, the latest edition will pop up. This edition is just a test, so please don't take anything in it at face value, okay? But it'll be a way for us to have announcements, showcase the Dam Challenge. So those of you that don't maybe make it to our Discord or know what the Dam Challenge is besides the stream, you can check it in DA. I can showcase previous winners, other maps, give you tips and tricks, and an object showcase, which means I can share an object that you may not be familiar with, and you can quickly add it to your favorites by clicking the heart button, and now it's part of your favorites. I mean, there is a hex grid built right into Dungeon Alchemist. I'm not sure what you're asking about. You can just turn on the hex, and boom. Hex grid. A little bit hard with the forest, but it is there. Here. Or do you mean to build on a hex grid? So, basically, these announcements will be a great way for you to keep up on new information, new tips and tricks, and whatnot without, if, let's say you don't frequent our socials like our Twitter, or you don't come to these streams often, or you're not on Facebook or Reddit. This is a great way to get information without, you know, constantly having to digest it. It is a great idea, Arkham. I'm really excited for it. I'll be running this pretty much exclusively, making Cartomancer Chronicles, and we'll be sharing them, and basically every week there'll be a new one. So it'll showcase, you know, the previous Dam Challenge winner, or maybe a Dam of the day from that week, some announcements, information, anything like that. It's cool. So that's another cool thing. All right, Goblin. Extra, extra, read all about it. Mac's gonna talk your ear off. So, that's kind of a new thing that's coming out. Next, let's see here. Let's showcase some objects, but let's start a new map that's just kind of like flat. Let's make a cave map. I really like the cave. Let's do a large cavern, glowing mushroom, river, generate. Yeah, you'll be able to see the previous issues. So, when you click the Cartomancer Chronicles thing in the top, it shows check archives, so you'll be able to see the previous week ones by checking the archives. Right, Zach? It is your lakeside. Did you see what it said there, too? That was, Vim made that one, and he said, because we were just testing it out, seeing how it works. This amazing frozen lake was made without the Winter Wonderlands update. How? Turn off the grid because it always makes me sick. Notice how this generated a cave with many different levels in it automatically. Okay, let's play with some objects here. So one of the new objects that I'm very happy is this new drill. This thing is insane. So kind of akin to the sled from the last update. See there what I'm doing with the collisions, though? I'm able to kind of merge that drill into it. That's dope. Let's shrink it down a little bit, because it's a big boy. So with this object, you have these cool lamps on the front that you can turn on and off. You can also adjust their brightness or change their filter to different colors. By the way, you can do this with any light source. So you can adjust its brightness. So you are asking right now, Regulus, if you put a torch or any light source down in any place, right? Like this one, for instance, you can click on it and there's this light icon. You can adjust its brightness like this or intensity, and that increases its aura in the export or shrinks it. You can also change the color to a bunch of different things. So does that answer your question there? I love the shadows on that. That's so cool. Okay, so going into this, you can pause it. You can disable the lights. You can open the top here. There's also a hatch that can open. So, yeah, you can do that with any light source for the most part. And then you can decorate this inside, and it's got like a whole little kind of steampunk vibe. I love the little like the view here, so he looks up over the top. Like a periscope or whatever. 2 light buttons, yes. There's 2 sets of lights on this particular one. There's a set underneath right here and a set above. So if I turn off one of them, notice the lights down below are still on, right? Oh, I'm going to be using this in my builds very soon. Got this new fangled dice for no reason at all, just for fun. Got some dino. Oh, they blow up when you set them down? What? Funny. That's hilarious. Oh, this crane is really cool. There's also these like platforms, but look, it like attaches to it. So you have like this like kind of cool little rope system that you can use. Sorry, this is my first time playing with this. Basically just like the rope pulls, yeah. Pretty neat, though. Oh, there's like a bucket and something on it. Like, that was weird. It's got some other stuff attached to it, but it doesn't. Anyway, that's a good question. Let's check the brushes. I do not see a dynamite brush at the time. The crystal brush, which I think was in the last update. They add the color slider. Look at that. Oh, I crashed it. But the color slider will be on the crystals, from my understanding. So, beta. Man, it was so fun having Carl with us like that today. It was so awesome. Like, I'm so, like, it was so great. Like, I don't get a whole lot of his time, you know? And so, like, it was really cool just to, as a group, be hanging out with him and chatting and asking questions and stuff. The dynamite made it kerplooey. Okay, so we've got just a small stick of explosives. We've got a crate that's sealed and open, and then we've got the bundle. New objects, you got all these really cool, like, pipes. Like hatches on walls and stuff like that. I like it. This is probably a bad map to be using pipes on, but we could probably just have like little bits of them cutting through areas like this, so it implies that there's pipes going through. So you like see this once in a while, you know? You could even have this piece attached here. So you could have pipes be, you know, just like environmental, but they also open up so you can use them as navigational. Auto recovery's been around for a while, yeah. Another thing that's really cool that's in the next update, rails. So let's play around with these a little bit. I don't have a ton of experience with them. So there's some like little switchy ones. Something like this. Sink it into the ground there. And duplicate it. And snap this one. Oop. I really love the Z-axis. This is so fantastic. You see there? Like, I mean, I was able to make some curving. Yeah, no more hammer rails for Mac. No more losing my mind. Man, that snapped together so well. That's what I wanted most of all. So there's these cool little supports that are in like our last support beams from our last update. And these will work great for kind of line them up with the rail and then something like that, you know? Rails are just glued together hammers. Full circle is what it is. Full circle. But as you can see, this is going to give you a lot more versatility for your builds going forward. I mean, the rails alone are incredibly awesome. Not yet, unfortunately, Sack. I know. I knew you were going to ask me that almost immediately. But the rails, there's no splining or angled rails at this time, just flat. One plane. As you can see, they're actually pretty intuitive. Work pretty good. We'll play Roller Coaster Tycoon, you loon. Wow, that's incredibly straightforward and simple. I really like this. Come on, get a little bit lower, guy. There you go. This is so cool. Does the cart? Let's look. It doesn't snap, it'll set on it though. We've also got this new one, too. Pretty cool. Not bad, though. It's pretty cool. Up B Downey. Y'all are nerds. Okay, I'm gonna keep building this rail system for a minute because I find it intriguing. Let's see here. I want this one to go 2 directions. Not yet. We're gonna do... That is cool! And then we could do one of these little, bendy boys right here. I do love how easy these snap together. It's incredibly intuitive. I hadn't spent a whole lot of time with it yet, so... Anyway, I am very impressed with this so far. Wait, what? Nerd shaming? No, we're all nerds here. What are you talking about? So cool. So, what after you guys have seen a lot of the stuff in this update, what are your thoughts on it? Uh-oh, I ruined the track. Didn't realize. Anyway, that's pretty cool overall. I like how quick it was to make a track that just zipped through all this stuff. It's crazy because it's really kind of a quick, smaller update that was supposed to be part of the last update, and it's just all the stuff that we were supposed to get before, but oh my gosh, is it awesome. I'm so excited to play with this stuff. I will say there's far less assets or objects than there are in this update because a lot of them were in the previous update. But the assets that are in this update are heavy hitters, like the bank teller stuff, the pipes, the rails, the stalagmites, the... Ooh, that one looks cool. Valve, let's put this right here. I like that one. Sink it in a little bit. It just looks like a hatch. Hey, see you later, Raven. Have a good one. Let's keep looking through all the new objects. We got some new candles. Cool. New cave stones and rocks. We discussed these crane a little bit. Ooh, we got some different drain pipes and freestanding wall types. Ooh, the great anvil. Check this bat. Dang. And then as you keep going down, we got some hard hats here, like different mining hats. That one's pretty cool. Another hatch. Whoa. In a world. Hello. Then we got some new lanterns on posts here to kind of help you decorate your mine with lights, as well as, you know, generic lanterns or bullseye lanterns on posts, it looks like. And then some more new lantern types. Tap from my face. Ooh, this new statue is really cool. Check this out. Ooh, so that's how you'll be able to change the stuff inside of it. That's how he was talking about earlier. That's pretty cool. And the new rock's color change. Good question, Aloe. Let's take a look. Stop. Collaborate and listen. Mac is back with a brand new invention. Nope, does not look like at least the new ones can be. Got these geysers, they're pretty cool. So they get like smoke coming out of them. Have you added material, instant crystals, and portals? What do you mean? Portals have been in Dungeon Alchemist for a while. You just type up Moongate, that's a portal. You also can use abstract assets that we added in our last update, like these here, to use to make custom anything. So like this circle, you could make like a summoning circle or a portal with it. You just got to put in it a custom image to it. So here's an example I'll just show you. I have some magic circles that I'm not really brighter. So here's like a magic circle on the ground using that abstract. So you could do a portal. You cannot use animated GIFs for this. And the dev answered earlier that animated GIFs probably won't be happening anytime soon. More than likely, it would be something along the lines of we could set up a slideshow with multiple images. So you could have like a painting with eyes open and a painting with the eyes closing and then closed all the way. So it's like blinking. So it would be like a progression or it changes and does stuff. But there would be no GIF support because it'd be very hard. There'd have to be like an integrated video player within Dungeon Alchemist. We're not trying to play Doom within Dungeon Alchemist, so... But, Aloe, regarding your question with the rocks, it appears that many of the new rocks do not have a color slider. I do think that crystals will be having them, though. I don't... They should, at least. Yep, I just keep crashing it by opening it. I won't be opening it anymore. Okay. I have bugged Vim about it a few times, and I know the community has asked for it since the crystals were dropped in our last update, so hopefully we'll be getting them soon. Anyway, it is now 12 p.m. We've been live for 2 hours now doing the reveal. I had a lot of fun hanging out with you guys and gals, but I think it's time to wrap up the stream. But before we go, if you have any last minute questions or concerns, feel free to ask and I'll do my best to answer them before we take off. Let's just generate a couple maps while we're sitting here. Vegetation, bones. Ravines, let's do a lava flow. Hey, thank you for being here. I had so much fun sharing this new stuff with you guys. It was also cool. The floor portal would have to be a transparent PNG, yes, but we also have a portal called a Moongate that you can just drop anywhere and it's a portal as well. So these work and they're animated. Sink the Moongate into the ground. Gosh, this just looks morbid, don't you think? Could you imagine the smell? Oh, of the portal? You cannot change the color of the portal yet. I do think in the future, a lot of assets like this, we're going to add color swapping to them. Here, let me show you an example. Hey, Ode, are you here? So... the wall of force, you can now adjust its, color. Also, the force sphere, same business here. So benefit of this, though, we were talking about this the other day. This is now a good option for like a Leoman or like a tiny hut. You can just drop it into the ground, right? Boom, there's your tiny hut. Because it's a half sphere. Yeah, clever tag. Seisu answered correctly there. That will be more likely in one of our water updates, water worlds or high seas, but probably water worlds because that's themed around like waterfalls and the like. In the interim, though, you can use abstract assets to create waterfalls. We've seen a few maps in the last week do that, actually. Lucian's Butterfly House, for instance, uses the abstract assets to make a waterfall. So this is an abstract asset shared on our Discord, and then there's just some mist below it to make it seem like it's running. So, raise of hands, who is excited for this update? It does, Yakos. I was going to look at that one possibly if I didn't find this one right away. Can I just say thank you so much for the amazing turnout today. Having you all be here and show up and getting tons of questions coming through with our dev, I'm sure it was a good impression. He wanted to stay longer, and I think he's eager to come back. So you guys made a good impression, and you were very, 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 very awesome, very well behaved, let's say, on stream today. Thank you so much. And I will do my best to try and get, our other artists and devs on the stream here in the future more. Oh, no worries. And Fleshback, I'm really sorry about earlier what happened. I think the chat bot bugged out and announced you and then announced someone else immediately. But like I said, we try to make things right when we can. And I saw that in the chat when I was catching up because I was way behind reading the questions. And I saw that and I was like, oh, okay. Well, let's fix that. I am so sorry. Again, apologize for that. Like I said, if we have issues with the giveaway where it bugs out, I usually will do my best to try and make it right. And also because the 30-second thing, when there's a lot of people here, it makes it harder. I can't figure out how to change it to any longer. I looked. I tried. So short of, we just got to be on top of it. And I do think, people being on top of it is important because if you're not watching the giveaway, it makes sense to give it to someone else. Maybe you stepped away or left or whatever. We don't want to sit forever. But yeah, no, honestly, I do like to make right by those when we have mistakes. So, and to admit there was a mistake and a problem and, I'm all about, you guys and gals. The community is my first priority. So, making you guys and gals happy and making sure we're all oh, goodbye giveaway, I wish. I'm only authorized to do giveaways every 50 viewers. So what that means is we did a giveaway at 50, we did a giveaway at 100. I don't think we hit 150. I think we got up to about 124 was our highest, which is amazing. I'm not complaining. That is a concurrent viewership, 124 viewers for a game that isn't even in a popular directory or anywhere. That's amazing. I was considering streaming in the D&D channel today because it would be more likely that random people would see and come in. And I think next week we'll do that just for the, to get the word out. Really? That's a bummer. Yeah, see, the computer crashing too, it's like when you run a stream, it's not just running Dungeon Alchemist. I'm running Dungeon Alchemist, I'm running a browser with a ton of different windows on it, including the stream that I'm watching to make sure it's coming through good, that it looks good, that it's not delayed and having tons of problems. I have, music open, I have the stream chat bot, I have the stream software, Steam, everything is open, and those things are all a burden on your computer, and eventually, if something wears out or has problems, quality control, right? I do appreciate you guys saying that earlier, though. At least planting the seed. Maybe I can convince work to let me expense a graphics card or something, a new GPU and some RAM or something. It would be awesome. But I do appreciate you all being here, being a part of the the reveal stream, asking a ton of questions, being very patient and very, very respectful and nice and awesome. Oh my gosh, I don't know if I want a 40 series. I think I'd be fine with a 3000 series. Swan, I'm still using a 1080 from like 5-6 years ago when I built my PC. So like it works fine. I think I need to do a secondary PC. Like a second game, so ideally, when you stream, you want to have two PCs, the game machine and the stream machine. That way the game machine isn't burdened with all the stream software, and the stream machine isn't burdened with all the game software. So... Oh, really? I'm going to look into maybe getting like a 3070 or a 3080. I do love all the NVIDIA like tie-in and features, the hardware acceleration they offer for like video rendering with movie editing and a lot of things, and ripping and stuff like that. And it's also great for streaming. So anyway, I would just like to, again, say thank you for you all being here. I had a lot of fun hanging out. Before we go, do we have any last-minute questions, or are we all good now? River. Probably blue. Zach, I'm so happy for you, bro. Like, the way you used to talk to me about your old machine and how long it took to load stuff, I felt so bad. You're like, oh yeah, I'll turn on my computer and wait 30 minutes and come back and it's finally loaded. Like, oh my goodness. But yeah, dude, I'm so stoked for you and your new machine. Oh, don't worry about it, Quasselpest. We're all late sometimes. It happens. Life. But you can always watch the VOD after and see everything. So if you missed it, you can definitely catch it later. Next Saturday, we'll be revealing a lot of the same features for those that missed this week, as well as a couple little things that are going to get squoze in this week. Mostly assets and stuff like that. Typically, the reveal streams are kind of like the first hour of the second stream is most of the same stuff from the previous one, and I do that because not everyone can make it to these reveals, and that's the reason I do 2 of them. It's not so much to stagger and go, oh, we're going to drip feed some content this week and then next week. Most of it is all shared in this stream. It's just next week is for those that missed it. But I would love it if you guys would come and hang out and join. There will be some little things, some assets and things that I didn't share. And as we get closer to the final launch, there's features and things that get plugged in that I may not even be aware of. So with the bay windows, how you place objects within them is just like how I was doing the Z object manipulation. So you would have to put them in that way. There is no plane in the bay window. What you would do is you would just take the object. So you want to put let's just draw a room really quick. Okay, so let's put a window here. Bays. It's this lovely view of the skeletal plains. Now, you want to put like a pie in the bay window, right? That seems iconic, doesn't it? Currently, you can't do that, right? So that's how you would do this. Is like that. Right? It's just all around the house. You use DA for Pathfinder maps? Awesome. Yep, so no more weird tricks. You just use the Z-axis. to raise it up. You can have floating pies. What I love about this too is now you can raise these up because they're always in the way. Chandeliers are so weird. Like how they lower to the floor when you shrink them. But now you can just kind of raise them wherever. Oh my gosh, right? Z-axis movement is a big game changer. I know that some of you are going to do some crazy stuff with this. So here we just have a couple of pies in the bay window. That seems like iconic, right? It's not like there's a layer there you can just drop them in. I added that, by the way, and then Vim said to take it down because technically that's not a place where you can put them in the bay window. It's just using this trick as a workaround. And I was like, I mean, it accomplishes the same goal. And he's like, yes, but it's not really the same thing. So yes, you can do it, and no, you can't. It's in this regard. Can I use my 3D Connect 3D mouse? I'm not familiar with what a 3D mouse is. Is it a mouse you can use in the air and it just works all over so you don't have to be like on a mouse pad? Is that how it works? I'm sorry, explain that to me. Unfortunately, you cannot merge and save them. You can combine assets by turning off collisions. So as an example, here is this ball-yard here, and I merge it with this other ball-yard at an angle, right? You can make new objects this way, but you can't save them in that way or move them together. There's no way to do it yet, but like a sneaky way you could get around doing that. We have these very cool abstract assets, right? So you can load into these blank PNGs, and now when I move... Oh, they weren't on top of it, technically. No, it's not doing anything. I thought it would move at all, or are they on top of it? Anyway, I thought it would move. Cool. You guys want to see Seymour? I thought it would move around on top of it, but for some reason it's not. 1 second. Look at this boy. Look at this boy. There's copy and paste. You've been able to copy and paste for ages. Any object, if you click this plus symbol, it automatically copies it, or if you hold shift while pressing that and placing the next one, it auto copies. Very easy. Down in the bottom left corner of Dungeon Alchemist, when you're in DA in an object panel, I'm going to hide the watermark so you can see this. You can see here it says shift, place multiple objects, control, toggle, snap to grid. These are hotkeys. So if you hold control, it'll snap around on the grid. If it doesn't snap, and if you hold shift, when you're placing it, it will copy, 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 copy. You just click, 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 and it's copying until you stop clicking. So it's more of a sculpting and CAD tool. There's no multi-copy paste, no. But like, for instance, anything on this table, if you copied it, well, no, it doesn't copy it. You could copy the table and it'll generate a new table, typically. It looks like it made that exact one. There is no support for that, no. I'm not aware of that mouse being even a thing on our radar. I mean, you could request it on our roadmap on Upvote. KO'd. How much of your life did you waste copying items by hand? That was a good boy. That was a dad's boy. I don't want to talk about it. What's the feature you found out about in DA that made you so mad at yourself that you're like, you've been able to do this the whole time? I'm sure we all have one of those that's like, oh, you didn't realize it could do this and you could have been saving so much time, but you didn't. He doesn't seem real when I hold him here. He just, like, chills. You didn't know that, Just a Little Mad? Really? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Well, I'm happy you guys are excited about this update. You know what, though? I think it's time for me to take off. I'm going to wrap up, and I got a lot of work to do before the update is live. I'm working on the trailer. I've been building maps for it and stuff, so I'm going to be busy doing that most of the day. Thank you so much, everyone, for hanging out, for being a part of the stream. Thank you for being here and asking questions and, you know, hanging out with me and the dev. If you guys and gals enjoyed the stream and you enjoyed Karel being here, please say something on socials or in Discord. You know, just say I had a lot of fun with you, Karel. Thank you for coming. I'm sure the more positivity behind it, you know, saying thank you and we had a great time with you and we'd love to have you back. He'll probably come back. So please, 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 just anywhere, Reddit, socials, Twitter, Facebook, you know, anywhere you post, please just tag us and let us know how you thought of today's stream, what your favorite parts of the stream were, what you're most excited about for the update, stuff like that. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. We'll catch you next Saturday, and that'll be another reveal stream, and that'll be at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. UTC. Which one is it? Is it 8? It's 8 p.m. UTC, I think. Thank you so much, everyone. We'll catch you later. Back out.